I've just finished cutting all the cladding and about to start putting it all on up this side anyway. When I say cutting all the cladding, I mean just for this little pillar. I think I just seen a freaking jack jumper up there. Anyway, but you probably wouldn't believe it. I actually haven't had to buy any, haven't had to buy nails, bugles, any screws, whatsoever yet. I've had everything left over from other jobs, even silicon. Haven't even had to buy any silicon yet. So saving out massively there. I'm actually coming to the last of my bugles, coming to the last of my nails, coming to the last of my silicon. So soon I will have to buy some of that, but I've gotten this far and I haven't had to buy anything. So definitely pays to keep some stuff sometimes and use it on your own projects, because yeah, you don't have to worry about buying stuff and spending money where you don't have to. So yeah, I'll start silicon and shooting these on up there, and yeah, see where I got to with, I think I cut 31, but I think I need 33. So yeah, we'll go for it and suss it out. And boom, look at that. We've got virtually a small house. I've not filmed in so long. It's actually so hard to get stuff done and film and then go home and edit it. Hats off to everyone that does that. I just yeah, I mean, I want to do it, but then sometimes I'm I want to just crack on with the job and just shoot little bits on my phone and then just obviously post on Instagram. But the YouTube thing is a completely different story. But as you just saw from the previous clip, we're now at this stage, which is externally so close to being done. It's 98% there. I've taken the downpipe off there. I've just got to glue it in. I'm gonna do that in a minute. Well, after I show you around, because this is a video to give a bit more of a detailed explanation and walk around of what's happened, what we're going to be doing, and yeah, just give you guys a better viewing rather than just looking through a 1.5 minute video on Instagram. So anyway, we'll go here. So external pretty much done. Obviously galved it all, flashed all the windows. I'm still waiting on a couple of beads. There's not a bead down the bottom of this window. I think on that second last one there's not a bead there, so we're still waiting on a couple more beads to put on there. Flashings are up. So what I did here was, I thought I was gonna have enough to be able to get that bit, because I've got a joint up here just to wrap that into there, because it was just tricky with these two timbers coming out, but I didn't have enough. So I've just got to order another bit there. The front flashing's done, everything out here. I've still got to go around and sicker and seal. We tried a couple of colors, a black and this mahogany thing, but I think at the end of the day we're just going to go black. On the inside, which you'll see, I've trimmed into the tree, and then this was all made up as I went. I never really thought about what I was going to do. And on the outside here, I've just cut around the tree, but it never would have worked anyway, because this is near on flush here, so I never would have been able to trim in there anyway. And obviously you got two different sorts of cladding. Another cool thing about the cladding is, I feel like I'm speeding up here, but every bit of cladding in here, obviously apart from the ply, is secondhand. So we never had to buy any brand new cladding, which was pretty cool. So saved absolute fortune. Moving around the back, so yeah, we'll just step back over here a little bit. So we're cooking there, and then we'll come through this way. This comes around to the back. So all the plumbing has been done. Outlet for sink, gas, hot, cold going in. Done in the way of it's all plumbed up to the septic, and then this just needs to be hooked up, dropped in and connected. I finished the cladding off around the back here. This still needs to be sanded and sealed. I've put one sealer on that. I've dropped a gutter in there, downpipe. I'm actually gonna run the downpipe down and then back, just drop it into that gutter rather than having a downpipe and trying to get it over to that downpipe. I'm just gonna feed it into there. I've still got to put a flashing up there. That's a tent one I've got on the moment, so need a proper one, get measured and fitted up there or whatever. Now
this, if you look here, this actually steps out because this, I don't know what was going with this. This wall was a bit bang. I think it was when I put the beam in, it was offset to this wall, so I had to, inside worked out really well, but the outside didn't. So I've had to set this top out and then flash it, and then the bottom sets in. So I've like scooped heaps of sticker in there, but I've got to cut it back and then do a nicer clean line in there. But again, I'm not too concerned about that. That was like, that's my flashing detail there. Like, that was a shit show. Again, I've just made all this up as I've gone. There's things when I've got to it, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done something differently. Or you just learn as you go. But at the end of the day, it's not going to get water in it. It's at the back of the house. It's not really the most aesthetic thing compared to like the front of the house. Like, if you want to have a look. So this went to the bottom of the fascia, and then that is a flashing up underneath that cladding, and then I've had to cut the other bit and then like shape it around the fascia, and then that's what I came up with. It looks so weird, but again, it's watertight. It is what it is. If I had done it differently, I would have obviously set back that wall and the fascia a bit more, or set this wall out. But again, I would have had to bat it more. Like, it just yeah, it's just an ongoing thing. These are all flashed out. How nice does that look? And with the flashings I've done, I've like really overhung them. Like, they're not like usual. Usually they just like lip down into there, but I really wanted, if any water does get out, sort of like beads down, and so nothing sort of hits the timber frames. That's on like every window. Actually, apart from this one where I had to use that there because this was a second-hand one we had laying around. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fit a flashing up into there and then come out. So I haven't got a screw in that. That's just sitting up there. So yeah, I'll flash up and then out. But that's another thing I need to do. But this is what I'm saying, like, sort of 98% done. And then I got a 2 barge at the end, cut that ridge cap, fit all that off. All that's pretty much screwed and done. They come up super nice all through there. All the plumbing for the water tank, we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, all the waste. So we've got our shower there, toilet, and this is for our sink, which will come out the back wall there. That then comes into plumbing here, goes all the way through here, and then down to our septic tank. So we're pretty much at a stage where it's like plug and play. So once I like cut the shower tray out, put the toilet in, it's all ready to go. So yeah, and this is what it's looking like. There's little darling from back here. So pretty cool. Gonna have an issue with so much sticks until these trees and go on, but I think we'll get rid of these 2 trees, potentially those 2 as well, because they're already sort of gone that way, you know what I mean. And these 2 only because the septic's there now, and then the water tank, and that one, don't know what's going on, that one's kind of dead, but they might, them 2 and them 2 for sure, and that will just help with stuff going in the gutter, and obviously repurposing the trees around here somehow. Continue on around the back here. So yeah, septic there, and then that runs out onto leach drainage, which is down there. That's like 20 meters worth of drain, so it just pipes from here straight to there. And then this is our stainless steel water tank. Pretty cool, this one. So this just will, like, I don't know if you can tell the finish, so different to obviously the normals, but this will last forever, absolutely forever. And it's food grade stainless. Not that that matters, but we're obviously going to have a pump and a filter, and then inside we're going to have another filter. So like, it doesn't really matter, but at the same time they kind of did. So we went the extra bit of money and bought the food grade stainless steel water tank. It's 20,000 litres, I'm pretty sure, might be 20,000 and a little bit. So yeah, that will pump with there, and then I'll pipe all the way up here and then pipe into the house, and then I'm just going to have it externally fitted for our water with copper, And then we're gonna have a gas hot water system. No actual like hot water boiler, just hot water system on the back of that wall over there. And then yeah, continue around this way back at the start. I've just got to glue that in. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but Tassie's like so cold, but we're always freaking so dry. Like, we don't get that much rain here, but hopefully there's rain this weekend and we can get a bit more water in the water tank, because I'm trying to get away with not using town water in this water tank. I just want to have rainwater and never have to have town water, but we will see. Anyway, come in. This is an internal door frame. Now I'm gonna have to put a seal hit the bottom, have to make something up there, but I've just whacked these. This is literally, again, for like anything vermin at the moment, temporary. So I've just like these door stop seal things, and there's like a seal on the bottom of the door and it just stops shit getting in. So come inside. The sun's it pumps here. It's probably got another half an hour before it sets, but it's so good. This is the winter sun. We're like, obviously, is it no winter? Yeah, June, July, August, nearly winter. So that's literally pretty much where it's going to be setting, and we get it like these windows, just sun all day in the winter, which is awesome. And then same with them two there. So, and then we've got our concrete slab, so we're really like getting that winter sun, which is nice. We'll shut that up, and then it's so quiet. It's so freaking quiet in here. Oh man, this would have been nothing last time, but where do we start? We'll start at the windows. Windows are done. We've got our cladding. Again, all second-hand cladding. We've just mixed and matched. That's like a Tas Oak and Wattle. This is all Tas Oak. That was like a 20 mil cladding, and this was like a 12 mil. You probably can't see, but this actually sets out further than this. But for this, I was able to, trim it into the tree, which is, it looks amazing. Like, it looks like someone's cut half a tree and just like stuck it there. Again, we're working out what we're going to seal it with, but I think I'm just going to do black. Like, I think at the end of the day, it's like got a black shadow there now, and I'm like, bugger it, I'll just use black. Same thing here. We have a Wattle and Tas Oak mix and match. And then instead of running it hard into the frame, I've set this window out further. So my idea for this was that when you walk in and everything's like where it is, you look out there and it's like a picture frame of the backyard. Like, obviously it's just dirt at the moment, but in my head, I'm like, okay, well, there's going to be like stuff out there. I just want a clean glass picture frame, and I think I've done it. But I don't know how I'm going to finish these yet. Whether I've just put like a 12 mil bit of oak flat on there. I'm not too sure. And then that kind of takes away the purpose. But yeah, I've left these little touch along, so I'll sand those back. And then this one had to be frame fixed because I wasn't able to get back into it. This was the only one. Every other window is back fixed the way they should be, to give the clean look. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Same thing here with the tree, trimmed in, mucked around with a little bit of silicone there. And yeah, again, like I said, I think I'm just going to do black. And then the transitions are a bit funny. So that's where it finished. And then I'm going to use window bead just to tidy up areas. This was cladding that, again, we had laying around, but I've ran it. This is a bit of a trip out. I've actually ran it with the rake of the house. Like, I haven't leveled it out at all. I've just gone, you know what, bugger it, it's something different. So that runs like that. It doesn't run like that. I actually just noticed a little bit doing the little corner there. What else? And then obviously, I've plied everything. So we've plied walls and the ceiling areas. And then what else have we done? Obviously insulated everything. Everything's wired. Again, the secondhand cladding. This was the same stuff as we used out there on that ceiling. It was the Tas Oak, which we've flipped over, denailed, and then butted in together. So that's like the back side of what it would have been used for when it originally came out. We've just flipped it. It gives like a different sort of texture. And the other side also was like had a clear coat on it. So that's why we did that. Now, what we're gonna do in the bathroom, you can see here, I've marked out this. So this is the walls. This is the bathroom. The toilet will be here. There will be a wall here, and then this is where the vanity will be. I think vanities or vanity, I can't remember. That's, yeah, anyway. And then the shower will be here. The shower will come up and it'll be like a overheader thick sort of thingy. And then I'll do a glass screen from, I reckon, right on the inside of that window out to here. Be like a 1200. So like, so this will be the doorway, and you'll literally walk in, and then all this area, there'll be another wall here. This will be all shower, and then toilet, vanities, and then, yeah. I think that's a big enough space. It's like 3 by nearly 3. So yeah, obviously once you start putting stuff in it, you get a bit of a feel, but pretty sure it's big enough. Like where we're at the moment, it's so much bigger than there, but I'll show you what the detail is with this. So all this is window bead, and then all I'm gonna do is that. Just a nice bit of bead up through there. Not like a bullnose cord or anything. So that will just finish in there like that. All through there. I did show April this. I was like, oh, that looks pretty nice. She's like, oh, I really like that. But then I'm like, nah. I'm not gonna keep showing her things because she just keeps saying yes. But anyway, so yeah, that would look like that. Which maybe, I don't know, I don't mind it. But like you probably would have seen in the Instagrams, I just routed all this out and then butted it in. And it gives it kind of that look, which is pretty cool. Obviously clean all that silicone up at a later date. And then I've got some leftover ply. I'm just gonna do a ply skirt in these areas. Not too sure what I'll do with that on the bottom of the feature wall in the bedroom, but yeah, I'll ply skirt these areas. And then with this here, this will all get timber cladded as well. This is hiding the C-section, of the shed, which is the only bit you see left in here, which is pretty cool. Out here, back to the kitchen. So yeah. Oh, and then the other thing. So with the wall, this wall will continue out. This will be the entry to the bedroom, and there'll be another wall through there. So when you walk in the bedroom here, I hope you're with me here. So when you walk in the bedroom here, it will be like bed, and then you obviously walk around the bed, and then I think this is what we're going to use. The backside of this wall here will be cupboard. I think that's what we'll do. I think that's more than enough cupboard space. Don't need no fancy walk-ins, nothing like that. And then out here, this will obviously be the backside wall of the bathroom. And then this will be like a little corner wall here. And I think that's where we're going to put the fireplace. And then we'll shoot the fireplace flue up through there and then bust it out the roof. And then this will be like a nice little cozy sort of corner in here. Probably like a chair or sort of like a couch in here. And then we're unsure what's going on over there, but maybe like a mat, some seating, suss that out. Yeah. And then back out here, just quickly, this thing's got 18 minutes. So you got the inlets, so you got the ins for the gas, cold and hot, and that will run through, again, face mounted, and the sink's gonna be around here somewhere. And then we've got our oven, which would be about here, and then our fridge. Our fridge will be here, and that will like hide that little bit of corner there, so the fridge will obviously stick off a bit, and then yeah, so fridge, oven, sink. The kitchen, like we're going to bring the kitchen pretty much to here. So will come out like 600, but it's going to be natural edge raw timber, and then wrap around and then shoot down there. So we'll have all that like it's just one big kitchen bench. And then, well, that's the idea. We're going to see what it looks like. And then I'm going to build an island bench there. So we'll have kitchen, island, sink, blah, 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 whatever. And then over here is just like a little chill spot, maybe. Potentially table, maybe table there. Again, once the walls are up and the layout is a bit better, we'll like know where we're going to put things. What else? Yeah, obviously got power to the shed. It's all been wired. That's all like, once we get everything, we've like got 2 pendants there and then a pendant there. And then everything else, we're just going to have wall lights. So when you walk in, you'll be able to like flick a light on, whether it be a pendant, lights up this whole area pretty much. And then this will be like a pendant light, a lamp here. And then we'll have lamp either side of the bed. There's going to be like a walk-in lamp when you walk into the bathroom, and then another one over there if we need, but pretty sure we'll have enough light. No down lights. What else? Yeah, still gonna cut the floor hopefully this weekend. Gonna grind all the floor up, cut it all up, get it to where like we're pretty much happy with it. And then I can cut out, because once all this is cut, then I can cut down the fall of the shower that we need in here. And that's just all going to be concrete as well, because we may as well use it because it's here. And then, because the front slab's so cooked, I thought, you know what, if it's not working and we're not happy with it, I thought later on down the track, I'll just whack some self-level over it. And then either we put some floorboards down, or some other sort of like freaking hybrid flooring or some shit, but we don't know. But that's potential. That's a potential. We're unsure yet, you know. So yeah, that's that for in there. You can kind of see what I did up there actually. If you can see, there's actually quad. There's actually what are we calling it? Window bead up in the corners up there. Like this is moved a fair bit actually. Bloody wasn't like that when I chucked it in. Or was it? I can't remember. Anyway, what do? You work with timber. You work with natural products. It's gonna want to move. But yeah, how cool does it look? Amazing. So wait, yeah, that's the back. And then that's the front. And then with here, I'm actually going to continue the beam. And then when this wall goes up, I'm going to run to finish this off nicer with timber. Run that down through here to the wall. So it'll like be like a cap, not like something like that, you know, but a bit bigger. And then, yeah, that's where we're at. That's fucking so close compared to what you would have seen on the last YouTube. We've got one outside light at the front, and then eventually there will be a deck out here. So we've put another little outside light there. So yeah, all this area will be decked, which will be nice. Nice in the summer, nice in the winter. There'll be a path up high, and then I'm going to cut and put a retainer in through here, and then be a path down low. Won't really ever be used at the back, but sort of like stops all the water and everything sort of running down into the shed. So be able to make something of that space, which would be nice. So yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see it over there, but we've actually started growing some grass. We just randomly bought a few boxes of seeds one day and just scattered them around everywhere, and got a bit of grass cranking, which is nice. So yeah, a little bit going on, a little bit more to do, but definitely at the pointy end. We're hoping at the end of June. We locked in, I think, end of June. So yeah, anyway, might film an episode of me cutting this floor and doing all that stuff, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, cheers.